This is Otnell John, and I will be taking us on introduction to web design, front end development in particular. So, before we kick start, we need to understand some basics. What and why you are doing this. At first, programming can be very enticing and very interesting. And same time, when you are into that journey, it can be very frustrating. But to every young person coming up, it is easy to get overwhelmed and get stressed up trying to learn programming. But today I will be breaking it down for you on what programming is. Programming is actually giving out computer instructions to do. Writing a program is a set of instructions that a computer follows to execute certain tasks. Alright. So when it comes to coding is actually those syntax, those language that you're giving to the computer towards perform those tasks that are given it. So in our introductory class to programming, we're going to be focusing on HTML. Remember I said we are doing front-end development, and front-end development simply means the section to which you can see. When they say front end, it means just like the way my screen is as blank as it is, that is what the front end shall look like. Things that you can see is what we refer to as the front end. While the second part of it is always the back end. The back end sections are things that you cannot see. Are things that you cannot see. So let's go. In the front end section, we have different languages you can use to learn the front end section. But we'll be starting with HTML. HTML means it means hypertext markup language. It is a language that you use to script your entire web page. So as every beginner, there's always some steps you must climb to achieve a certain step. So HTML is hypertext markup language. It is used to tell the browser how to display the content. And the funny thing is that every browser uses HTML, no matter how big and robust it uses HTML. You cannot boycott it to say I'm going to skip terms and conditions. No, every browser uses what? HTML. So now I want you to think of HTML as the skeleton of a website. Just like a human body, we have the skeleton and we have the skin covering the skeleton. HTML is the skeleton of what? A website. So what does HTML do? It displays text, it shows images, it creates links to other pages, and it organizes contents using sections. Now, when we say it displays text, I'll take you to a website. Now let's see what we're talking about. This this is a website, right? Now this was created with HTML. Let's open one first. Let's open one here. This website I'm opening was created with HTML. And what we see is that we are seeing the text. Anything that enable you to see the text in a website is because of the power of HTML in it. It shows you images. Look at images. And it shows you link. This one is a link to another site on the same website. So what does HTML look like? If we already know how HTML looks, how and what does it now look like? Because this is just the front section of what the HTML. Then how do we now know HTML? Let's look at it. When we inspect this browser, we see the elements that is consisted of this browser. Now you see something like HTML. You're seeing HTML here, right? You see, as I click click and I move around, these are the contents of what the HTML consists of. Looking at them, so the HTML consists of the what? The H1 tags, which are what we use to start our new coding classes. You tell them H1 stands for heading 1, H2 stands for heading 2, H3 stands for heading 3, heading 4, and heading 5. So we have six headings, heading 1 to 6. And as it goes, the bigger the number, the smaller the size. The bigger the number, heading 1 is big, heading 2 is okay, no, heading 6 is small, heading 7 is kind of small, heading no, heading 6 is small, heading 5 is small, heading 4 is kind of big but not too big, heading 3 is big, heading 2 is bigger, and then heading 1 is biggest. So as the number increases, it becomes smaller. All these are components of what? HTML. So let's open our IDE. Now, a place to which you code is what we describe as your IDE. This is Visual Studio Code. This is a Visual Studio Code. And in a Visual Studio Code, we use it to build and write our code. So we can create a new folder, alright, Control Shift and N for a new folder, and name it HTML because we'll be using it to practice in our classes. Alright, and then we open it inside our VS Code here. We open it inside our VS Code. So again, desktop. Here is it. We open the folder. Now this is our new folder for HTML. So now HTML has its extension. When you say extension simply means what will enable you to what? Open it. So you see, welcome.html gives you that the HTML means it is going to open as a HTML file. So what are the basic components of HTML? We have the H1, the heading tag, we have P, the paragraph tag. So let's do it. So I will just be doing this so that we'll see what the HTML component looks like. This is the HTML, this is the head. The header is for what? Putting certain titles. When you open your browser, you see something like this. Are you seeing Refill Gov? Here is the header. This is a function of the header in this place. The header here, the head. Under the head, we have the title. This is where that refill that you saw there was written. Okay. Now we have a anchor tag for links, image for image, UL for list, and then BR line break. So now, how is the structure of a web page like? The structure of your web page is just like this as it is on the screen. Doc type, HTML, the language you're writing on is with English, and then the body, then closing tag. Alright? Now, what are the tools for writing HTML? We have Notepad, we have VS Code, we have CodePen for online testing. But we recommend VS Code, which is one I'm currently using now because it is friendly, user friendly, and easier to understand as a beginner. Alright. Okay, so I've done this. Let's try to run this code and see. I'm going to name this title as welcome page. Welcome. And now I told you that heading one is always what? Big. So let's use our heading tag heading one and say welcome to my new page. And always remember to save it. Now we want to run it. Okay. Now what you do is that Remember, we created a folder. I don't want to run it directly from here so you will not get confused. Now go to this folder here, open it, and see, because it saved it as .html, it is now opening as a what, a browser file. Hit on it. Now, okay, this is just click it very well so that it will open your browser. Okay, you open it with Chrome. And this is what we have. Welcome to my new page. We are gradually taking our what HTML classes. Now, I would like you to try it by yourself. Right, my name is there. After welcome to my new page, use the paragraph tag to do it, and then save the file as .html. Open it in your browser and show me what you've got under the comment section. So in the homework, introduce yourself. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in the next class.